Alright, hello everybody, this is Druin, back again with another monk video. Just going to be showcasing, this time, the run that I'm doing in Act 3. It's a pretty standard run if you've watched any of the high-level streams. It's basically, get 5 stacks, clear an area at peak place. But I have a fairly unique monk currently. I'm running 22,000 HP, which most people would find to be impossible in Act 3, and I just want to show how it works. I probably will die, because that's what happens when you have 22,000 HP, but hopefully I won't die too much. I've done runs with, 1-0 deaths before, so it is totally possible. This is probably going to be a bit of a long movie, because, yeah, it just takes a while for monks to kill things. I don't have, 100,000 DPS, so... So the first thing is, sorry for the mic quality and the graphics quality. My computer's just not good enough to fraps at high graphics, and my wallet's not good enough to buy a nice mic. So these are my stats. I use a storm shield. It's pretty important when you have 22,000 life. Also, another unique thing about my build, and it's something I'm currently working on, so it's actually not finished by any means, is I'm trying to get Magic Find on my main set, so that's why you see Magic Find gem in my Andariel's Visage. My boots are pretty perfect Magic Find, and then my bracers have Magic Find. So I'm working on that. Slowly but surely, I'll accumulate Magic Find on every slot. I'm doing that for the next patch where they quote-unquote fix Magic Find, and also just because I'm pretty tired of switching to Magic Find gear. I have a nice set of Magic Find gear, and I have lots of Magic Find when I wear it. But man, it is a pain. So I would prefer to just have a set that I can kill stuff in. Alright, so I don't have very much critical hit damage compared to those super monks that you see. So I only have 30k DPS. When I equip my offhand weapon, I go up to 36,000, which is okay. I do it for bosses and stuff. My gear is the same weapon that I've had for a long time. I finally got to switch to critical hit damage in it, because I got this necklace. Personally, I recommend every monk having a 600 plus life on hit necklace. It doesn't have to be this I paid a lot for. It can be pretty much anything, as long as it's got 600 life on hit, because it allows you to have critical hit damage in your weapon. I have a Skull Grasp, which I got before they're 50 million apiece, so that was pretty cool. Terrible Gloves that I'm working very hard on upgrading. Terrible Shoulders that I'm working very hard on upgrading. A Andariel's Visage, which I think is the best helm in the whole world ever, and I'm very happy with. Pretty endgame chest. I use String of Ears, and there's a reason for that, and it's String of Ears plus Storm Shield is basically how you live with 22,000 HP. So, 22,000 is too low to live through arcane lasers pretty much ever, no matter what, so you have to do a lot of dodging. But it's auto attacks that you can't dodge, and so reduced damage from melee is actually really important. I am looking to upgrade this String of Ears because it's not ideal, but wow, is it hard to find a String of Ears with Magic Find and 100 dex, so, and 20% reduced, so I'll find it eventually. Random Pants, no MF. These boots are definitely my endgame boots. I have no intention of ever upgrading them, or I mean, someday, when new things come out, but they're perfect. Bracers are the same. Those are endgame for me. And then this ring is, I've had it since pre-attack speed nerf patch, so really gonna try and get a better one than that, but not there yet. And then I just have a Dex 28 Storm Shield, which I'll someday get a crit Storm Shield instead. And then I've got a full set of Magic Find gear. I no longer have to switch out the items that have Magic Find permanently. I do use a macro to do it, so if that offends you greatly, just stop watching the video. It looks like this. And then boom, Magic Find. Oh yay, so good. Yeah, sorry if you hate that. My chick has Magic Find, Magic Find, Magic Find, Magic Find. Gives me Magic Find. So that's how that works. I think that's everything. Oh, my spec is really standard. I guess using Deadly Reach Foresight is currently the less popular of the two versions of this, where most people have Blinding Flash, Faith in the Light, right? Yeah, no thanks. I hate Blinding Flash. I think Blinding Flash is a terrible skill. So, and I really like having a ranged attack, and I like having a higher overall damage. Other than that, super standard. MOE Backlash is a big part of how this build works. You have to have MOE to have 22,000 life. Resolve is very similar. You pretty much have to have it. And then these two are obviously standard given, standard, and Thunderclap being completely overpowered. Okay, cool. So let's give this a go. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. So you go Rakish Crossing because that spawns Tyrael, and he's useful for blocking people. And then Stone Fort. And let's get to killing some elites. So I will try really hard. I'll try hard. I had a warm-up full run this morning, and it went okay. That's a lot of lag. Let's hope that doesn't continue. So this is just, you can see that's a lot of mobs. I'm tanking them. So it's not like it's not like 22,000 life insta-gives you. It just insta-gives you if things like that happen. So I just got Feared and Desecrate, which is no good. So generally speaking, once I find an elite, it's time to kill off the things that are near me. So that I have space to do what I need to do. Because a big part of the way this works is I have to move constantly. It's really important to constantly be agile. Because unlike some of the other more tank and spank builds, I have to actually dodge things. But I like that style of play. So, all right. And you can see my DPS goes higher than 40,000 with the double buffs. So that was nice. An elite by itself. So the things that you have to basically pay attention to certain affixes and certain mob types much more closely with this build, because certain things are exponentially harder than others. So none of those melee mobs do anything to me at all. So I can basically just ignore them. They just proc Backlash as far as I'm concerned. So you get it down to 100,000 life, and then switch gear, bubble, kill. Switch gear. Cry, because that rune sword isn't rare. But other things, like those winged guys, those Morlock things, they're way more important to kill than everything else. So you should always just wade through mobs to try and kill them, because one hit from the little cool new minions. I used to hate this affix, and I no longer care at all about it. Although I'm probably dead. I can't imagine I'm gonna get out of this. Is there any way? Oh, okay, cool. So that's Vortex. That's cute. So that's Fist of Thunder, and why it's basically. There's so many reasons that Fist of Thunder, Thunderclap is required that I feel like, I don't know. It's just silly. It's silly how much better it is than everything else. But anyway, I used to hate immune minions, and then I got to the point where I can just tank all immune minion adds, and it's no problem at all. I switched to Magnifying Gear, no issues. If it was a hard set of comp, like a hard comp, I probably wouldn't have switched to MF Gear. I would have just bubbled and killed, because you waste a lot of time switching to MF Gear, which is part of the reason that I want to never have to do it anymore, because it's really... I don't like that gameplay. I really agree with Blizzard that I feel like it's cumbersome and silly. So I'd be happy to see it removed, as long as they do what they said, which is add a little bit of extra Magic Find to compensate for the fact that no one can ever get the same levels of Magic Find again. Which I have a lot of faith in them. They'll do it. All right, moving along. So you can see I just thunderclap around because it's fucking awesome. I feel like Fist of Thunder, Thunderclap, along with being overpowered, makes the monk class feel like what it's supposed to feel like. Because it makes it feel like agile and skill-based. And you'll see later when I start fighting mobs that are a little bit harder that I have to do a fair amount of basically like in and out fighting where... Oh, that sucked. Why did you leave? So the other upside to having... Oh, Heaven Hand! Oh! Archon Gauntlets. That was a very good drop. That Heaven Hand, I basically determine how successful a run was based on how many rare Heaven Hands I get. Because it's the only thing I care about. That's cool. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. What the fuck? Well, that's definitely some cheats. That's some cheats right there, bro. Can I kill you? You're a magic ninja. No, he is invincible. Okay. Cool. Cool story. Cool story. I just love IDing Heaven Hands. It makes me really happy. I feel like, you know, eventually, after like 100, 200, 300 runs, I don't care how many, I'm going to ID like 1,100 DPS, socket, crit damage, life on hit, Heaven Hand. And I can't even imagine what that's going to feel like, but it's going to be that gaming experience that you always want. That most games nowadays don't actually even have the option to feel. Like, most games nowadays, you would never even get the chance to feel like that. Because they've just decided that you need to be given everything, all the time. Just, everyone needs to be given whatever they want, whenever they feel like they want it. And I think it is a terrible, terrible, terrible way to make games. And I'm glad to be playing a game where I feel like I earn some stuff. Alright, so only 2 elites. That place can spawn 2 to 3, I think. I don't think I've ever gotten 4. I might have one time. If so, it was very rare. And there was like maybe one spot I didn't explore, and so it's possible that there was an elite there. It's not really hugely important, to be honest. This is kind of like a wing it sort of run. Like, you don't have to do anything exact. You can also just choose to do different things if you feel like it, which is part of what I've come to as a conclusion. Like, if this is going to be the end game of this game for a while, you got to make sure to do things for fun. Like, if you feel like you want to do something, don't worry if it's quote-unquote inefficient or whatever. Just have fun. Do it. Because efficiency will only get you so far. Efficiency is only good if you're farming like to be better at PvP or something. But you're not. This is it. This better be fun, or you're not going to like this game. And, you know, so far I look forward to farming still, so I feel like working as intended. So these guys had crazy easy affixes. Fire Chains is possibly the coolest affix ever. It can get annoying. There's certain mob types where Fire Chains is like, whew, that's brutal, like Succubus. But generally speaking, because you can dodge the Fire Chains hit, it procs backlash 10 trillion times a second. And, turns out that makes you do deeps. Really, really good deeps. So you'll see me pick up blues, which is something I haven't previously done in any of my videos, I think. And it's because I got a 6-stat bracer pattern. It just dropped. And this is one of those things where I'm not sure it's actually efficient to craft 6-stat bracers, because bracers don't sell for that much. If I had 6-stat gloves, now that'd be a different story, but bracers don't actually sell for that much. Ooh, immune minions! Don't have arcane. Yay! Oh, it's got desecrate. Shit. What was I saying? Oh, 6-stat bracers, right. So I got my 6-stat bracers pattern. And, so I pick up all the blues and then DE them, because at the end of a run, I basically get another group of loot that I can pray is good. And that's one of those things that's just like, that has helped me kind of like feel really good about what I was doing. Like, it makes it fun. Yeah, I die really fast to desecrate with, my MF gear on. And so, yeah, so I've just started picking up blues, and like, even though it means I have to go to town more, and like, reasonably speaking, I'm probably making very little, if any, money off of crafting bracers, and I can't even get an upgrade, because my bracers are pretty much flat endgame for me. I mean, theoretically, a better bracer exists. For instance, it could have all resist and poison resist, but whatever. It's very unlikely. But it feels good. It feels good to, like, you know, at the end of a run, to, like, look at how much mats I have and be like, yeah, I'm going to get 7 fucking bracers out of this. And they're 6-stat. They could be good. And I think, I feel like it pays for itself at least. So if it isn't making me money, it's at least paying for itself. Because I have sold bracers for 1-2 million, which is about as much as they sell for. Like, you'd have to get a really, really, really good roll for them to sell for more than that. I don't really recommend crafting most 6-stat things, like 6-stat chest armor or anything like that, because like, that's just, it's really, really hard for them to be good. They don't have a currently desired stat on them. So bracers have crit, and everybody wants crit right now. And so, at least, all I have to do is roll crit and then hope for something else, and people will buy it, even if it's not very good. Saints Tears. No. Alright, so we've had a bunch of easy affix rolls, which is totally cool. I'm totally fine with that. My last run was absolute hell on earth. It was wretched. I got, like, 9 out of 10 elites for the entire time, and that's, you know, a grand total of probably something like 40 elite packs. So that's, I don't know, a lot of elite packs were Arcane Enchanted, and Arcane Enchanted I don't have a problem with. I don't think they should nerf it or anything like that, but it requires the most concentration, and if they happen to have Arcane Enchanted and something, it's just so hard, like Arcane Enchanted Jailer, Arcane Enchanted Waller, Arcane Enchanted Vortex, and I got, oops, didn't switch. No, my bad. That's okay. So that's part of the cool thing about having MF on your normal gear, is you forget to do the MF switch, or it's just not reasonable at the time, and you still end up with Trip Rare Darkblade, like a boss. Like a boss. Okay. At some point, I'm hoping that Elite Golgor pack will spawn, so that I can show you that with 22,000 HP, it's not an issue. I can tank an Elite Golgor pack. Can I tank like all 5 of them at once? Probably not. But that's okay, because you don't have to. They're big and fat. You just put them into a nice corridor or corner, and... So you'll see me turn around and do what I just did a lot, and it's to try and keep up Sweeping Winds. And that I do because it is also fun. I like having Sweeping Winds up. I'll lose it right here, though. I do it every single time. So that's just another game I play with, you know, trying to keep up Sweeping Winds. No elite packs for the loss. For the loss! Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. I also got 3 different instances where elite packs double spawned on themselves last game, which is heinous. Alright, so Mortar does a lot of damage, because you have very little life, and, you know, this is Inferno, so elemental stuff does deeps. So it is usually a good idea to try and avoid them. I'll probably at some point die to Mortar. Like, Mortar Suckies. Succubuses are just... They're not hard, but they change the game dynamics a lot, which I'll show you when we get to Succubuses, because they do so much more damage, and they make things do so much more damage than you're used to. So I switched because I had like 86,000 poisons on me, and I was doing deeps. Horn Maul, War Thresher, Titan Axe. Okay, cool. So that's that. That was 6 elite packs total. So that's good. Sometimes you get 4 total, and you want to cry. So I do the Keep Depths level 1. This is the only part of my run that I'm sketch about. I'm not sure that the density of elites is actually high enough to be worth it. The type of elites is definitely unquestionably worth it, because they're all face tankable. Every single elite type that can spawn here is face tankable. They have no special abilities, and they all do like 4 damage. And only those Quillback things will run away from you. This is one of the times when it's really nice to have Sweeping Winds up, because Sweeping Winds will open doors for you. When you run into those rat pack things, if you teleport into a group of them like I just did, you should activate MOE, because their auto attack does way more damage than their ranged attack, and if they all auto attack you at once, you can instantaneously die, and so you want to up your dodge a bit. Alright, Poonin. I remember when these guys used to be so hard for me. So cute. Now they're so easy. Ow. That's what I get for saying that. Sage Hat. Nope. Nope. Okay. Alright. So far we haven't really seen anything super hard. Which I'm glad about, because if I had videoed my last run, you guys would think that I'm terrible at this game. And that would be sad. That would be sad for all of us. Mostly for me. It would actually just be sad for me. Alright. So this is why I'm kind of hesitant to say that this is a good spot. I love the keep deaths because this was like my favorite place to farm when Inferno was hard. Because I had to do a whole lot of, you know, kiting into doors and stuff like that. And so I think I'm nostalgic. Oh, cool lag. I'm nostalgic about this place. Because I no longer need doorways and stuff to kill elite packs. And it's just not a very high density of elite packs. And sometimes you get these guys who are molten, and you want to fucking kill yourself, or whatever. Runaway, mobs that run away and have molten should just be fucking removed from the game. It's so... Oh, I'm dead. Oh, yeah, dead. Didn't see Vortex. So that's the downside to having low health, is if you fuck up, so that's not worth it to run back. That's like 10 trillion miles away, so I'm just gonna keep going. There's no point. The run back part of this game takes the most away from a Magic Find run. So if you die and you have to run really far to kill an elite pack, it's generally, in my opinion, not worth it. Right. So if you play lazy, which I was playing very lazy because I'd had nothing but easy elite packs, what you'll do is you'll see an elite pack, you'll teleport in, you'll start doing damage, you won't read what its affixes are, and this is cool. When this guy crawls out like this, auto elite pack. I won't read what its affixes are, so shielding, whatever, doesn't really matter. These guys are face tankable, no problem. You won't read what its affixes are, it'll do a bunch of damage to you, and you'll hit bubble, which is totally normal response, except you won't have read what its affixes are. And so you'll bubble, start doing some deeps, and be like, okay, cool, now my bubble's about to wear off, so, you know, I'm going to switch, I'm going to run out, and you won't have read vortex or something like that, and it'll vortex you, and you'll just die. Oops, switched gear before I waited for him to shield. Dead. Gotcha, bitch! Tolwar! Worth it. Alright, high scabbard, yes. Alright, I'm out. So playing lazy, you get penalized a lot for playing lazy if you have really low HP. Which, you know, it's acceptable. Here's what I can't tank. Malcore packs. Those things are silly retarded. So let's hope for none of those. I fought an Immune Minions Malcore pack once, and it took me like 10,000 hours to kill. That's another free or auto elite pack when you see this quest over here. So this actually, I don't like this situation. Those the guys that enrage and then hit the ground do a lot more damage than most guys. And being out in the open like this means that while you're trying to kill all the melee, these ranged guys who do by far the most damage, they do so much more damage than everything else, have like free reign to shoot at you. And, you know, generally, your dodge takes care of that problem for you. But, I don't know. It's just not a good situation. Usually the melee is doing no damage, and so it's okay. But in that case, with those guys, they hit the ground, and it just does a lot of damage compared with most melees. And so you're taking damage from two fronts, and that can be too much sometimes. Which is why you saw me bubble in the middle of there, if you were paying attention. Frozen, Avenger, Teleporter, Vortex. So Frozen Vortex will inevitably be annoying, but it's not an actual issue. And when I say inevitably be annoying, I mean they're never going to use their skills, and they're just going to die, because they suck. Also, Raffle at Avenger with only 2. Noob. You gonna kill me? No, you're not. Archon Armor. Boss. That was triple good drops. It's very rare to have happen. Alright, so we're full up. Gotta go put some stuff in the stash. Forgot I got a heaven hand. Makes me really happy. IID at the end. It's a personal preference. Makes me feel like I earned more stuff. Because at the end I get this like big payout. I also separate my I-63s and everything else. Again, same reason. Just makes me feel better. Nope. Wait, was that actually what I wanted? No. Okay. Back at it. So yeah, Fortune Shrine. Check this out, dude. I'm just running around with 179 Magic Find. Sexy. My goal is to get to 200 Magic Find with my follower out, so that I Nephilim Valor to like 275 or so. And at that point, yes, I will have less than I do when I switch to my Magic Find gear currently, because I'm not gonna be able to get Magic Find on like my necklace until I want to spend a billion gold. But it'll be marginally less, and probably fairly difficult to actually tell. This is a lot of guys. Alright, seems to be working out. The other cool thing about having Magic Find on your main set is you will actually get rares. You will, like, just randomly. You'll just be fighting and then a rare will drop. And I got a rare Arc Axe last run, and it was a good feeling. It felt sort of justifying. Okay. So there's me taking 8 billion mobs. Worked out pretty well. Didn't have to bubble. Fist of Thunder. OP. Alright, so what do they got? Avenger Reflex Damage. Vortex. Damn! This is some fucking easy affixes, dude. Holy shit. It's like makeup for my last run. It was just so terrible. So the reason I choose to do the zones that I'm choosing to do is pretty specific. I've tried all the zones in Act 3, and I've tried farming each one for like a fair amount of time. And what it comes down to in this game is that there's just certain mobs, like mob types. Like, it doesn't really, like, affix combinations, you can't really control that. You're gonna fucking wind up with everything. Like, you're gonna wind up with, you know, Horde, Arcane, Lasers, Vortex, bullshit, Jailer, or whatever. And, that'll just happen. It'll happen no matter where you choose to farm. What you can control is what natural abilities the mobs you're fighting have. And in my case, I found that there's certain mobs that have natural abilities that are really hard for monks to deal with. So, a great example, and I think this is actually just a problem for most people, although maybe mages don't have as much problem, or range classes, would be the fat guys with 2 legs who, like, shield. I think they're called Demonic Tremors. Demonic Tremors. I think that's what they're called. And when they spawn elite, like, I can't kill them. They do 1,000,000 damage. They don't take damage while they're in that shield form. They have 1,000,000 life, and their hit knocks you back. And if there's 4 of them, that's just constant knockbacks. And so you can't life on hit. And it's a pretty big issue. Like, anything that stops me from life on hitting is bad news bears. So things like that, I try and avoid zones with those. I try and avoid zones. So, like, I used to do Keeps level 2, for instance. I did Keeps level 2 for a long time, because I was used to pre-patch, pre-easy mode Inferno. And Keeps level 2 was important, because, again, it was just the zone type. Like, I needed all the walls and corners and stuff. And, yeah, and so those guys who, like skeletons with big axes, like, they used to be worth it because, again, everything fucking did 1,000,000 damage in Inferno. Macro activated. I have a macro that just constantly spams Mantra of Evasion and constantly attacks. That's all it does. And I use it for things like this. Like, I'm not touching the keyboard right now. Ow. I hit Q. That was me. Manually. And so I used to do that in Keeps level 2. And now it's just not worth it, because those guys elite do so much damage compared with normal elites. Like, their auto attack's just way harder than normal mobs, and so when they're elites, their auto attack's way harder than normal elites, and it's not really worth it because they're really hard to tank. Also, keeps level 2 has... Oh, it fucking wins! There we go. Oh, son of a bitch. Macro's failing me right now. Alright. Alright, macro back activated. And then the like guys, the suicide guys who explode, there's just no way. Like, they are so rough for a low HP build. So, had to stop doing keeps. Those big bull things that charge have too much life, so you can't burst them down no matter what you do. Switch to Magifying Gear, kill Siegebreaker. Please don't. Okay, good. Get Sacred Shield, Sovereign. This is good loot right now. This is going well. That's triple I-60 or double I-63, I-62. Hellscape, Desolator. I would have liked the Desolator. Oh well. Beggars can be choosers. So yeah, I just avoid, like, I do these zones specifically because these are the zones that have mob types that can be killed almost all the time, independent of affix combination. It's not that I can't kill any of those other ones. It's like I've killed what I consider to be the hardest affix combinations in the game because I don't like the idea of skipping things or not being able to do something. But it's just not worth it. Like, you're... Nice lag, bro. Alright, so we got Molten, Plague, Frozen, Fire Chains. So these guys are actually... They used to be really hard. And they're not as hard anymore. When they're actually bugged, too. So, when you fight them and they spawn as an elite as opposed to a champion pack, so one guy and minions, they don't have minions. It's just one solo guy. Makes it pretty easy. Alright. So hopefully now you'll get to see a little bit more, like, actually using the build as opposed to just face-tanking everything like I've been doing. Sovereign Exorcist! Damn! You guys are good luck. I need to perhaps more videos for you so I can get the good loot. Alright, here you go. Malcors. Those things hit for 20,000 damage when debuffed. Let us observe. Bam! Half my life. Cool. Cool story, bro. I believe, if I remember correctly, that Bashnok confirmed on the forums that they are currently double hitting, and that's why. So every time they hit you, they actually hit you twice. If that's the case, then, you know, boo. It's very painful. I wish they didn't do that. These guys are awesome. They're just like free loots. Free loots. Loot scorpions. Ow. Ow. Okay. Not really as many elites as I would like, but whatever. Okay, so there's an elite pack. Wow, dude, that Malcor got fucked up by that ground trap thing. Okay, so I saw an elite up here. Let's go see what we got. Invuln, Fast Plagued, Elect. No issues here. In fact, I'm actually going to back out of the Plague, because he's got Reflect, which makes it harder to life on him. Oh! Talking for the loss, guys. Talking is for the loss. So, here's what happened. It's lazy play, is all that happened. I wanted to use MF gear. And so I got down to, like, I saw my life going down faster than it was going up, basically. And the reason that was happening was reflex damage plus plague makes life on hit a lot less useful. And I'm only able to life on hit the main guy while everybody attacks me. So I wanted to get Magifying Gear on. the only way to get Magic Find Gear on when fighting immune minions mobs is to get him really, really low and then bubble Magic Find Switch. And so I was saving bubble for the Magic Find Switch, but as soon as my health started dropping that fast, I should have known that it's not like it's going to go up. I don't have some like magical... So when you fight lots of mobs, you can frequently change the rate that your health is moving by hitting more or less mobs. In this case, I have one mob that I can hit, and it's not going to change. It's just the one mob. And so, if it starts dropping like that, it's a pretty good indication that it's going to continue dropping like that. And so I should have just backed out. So this time I'll just play smart and not face tank 10 fucking plagues. And... oops. And I failed anyway. And I'm rewarded by him not dropping anything that I care about. Oh, same quivers, I guess. Theoretically could roll well. I don't really know enough about demon hunters, so it's hard for me to sell things like quivers. I feel like there's like some craftable quiver that everybody uses, so that quivers don't sell for very much. But, who knows? Not me, that's who. Nice rubber band. Pro. Alright. I'd like to get over 40,000 damage without my Enchantress, because it makes me feel bad when that number is not 4. Alright, so now we're to the interesting part of this run. So Succubuses apply this debuff. This debuff is bad news, bears. Like, really bad news. Really, 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 really bad news. Because the whole point of this build is to mitigate input of damage and basically make it equal out or lower than life on hit. So influx of healing. And that basically makes it so that the input side of damage is ridic high. Waller Arcane is a problem. It's not a huge problem because there's only one guy who can wall. So if you do dodge the Succubus auto attack, she does not apply the debuff. Which is good for us, because we MOE. Oh dear lord. Waller Arcane strikes again. Yeah, so there's only one guy who can make a wall, so there's less walls than there could be. Like, if you fight elites with Waller Arcane, this could suck. Alright, we're good. It can get pretty brutal. Did I already? No. Cool. I guess I killed them all. So Succubuses, you basically have to kill them first. All the time. Sometimes I'll even go so far as to kill them even when I'm running through mobs. I don't want to get hit by that. Oh. Oh. Ninja dodge the fireball. Yeah, so I'm sure that eventually I'll mess up and you'll see. That Succubus debuff causes really unique gameplay decisions, like especially if you fight Elite Succubus, because then you can't not have it. It's on you all the time. So if they have like Molten Succubus is the hardest thing that Succubuses can spawn as. Because they run away, so they Molten you, and Molten normally is tankable for long enough that you get some damage in, but their debuff makes it so that it's not tankable for long enough. So I usually have to play very... Wow, it's not going well for me. Play very smart against Succubi. Whatever. Okay. Phase Beasts, not a problem. All they do is melee. Phase Beasts plus Succubus debuff on the other hand. So you'll see, I'm just sitting here, I'm staring at my debuff thing. So I have a debuff now. I'm not being auto-attacked because I got out of the pack. Now I have to bubble. Because there's enough things around me and I have the Succubus debuff on, that there's no amount of healing from me that would have made me live through that. Like, perfectly placed... Alright, so here. These guys gonna be nice? No. So, when they have fire chains, the #1 best strategy for killing Phase Beasts that have fire chains, or Phase Beasts in general, if you have the option, is to corner. Get into a corner. The things that make that not an option would be Desecrator, Arcane, and Frozen. To a lesser extent, Plague. And the reason is because they'll do that. Oh, I'm stuck. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do! So this is just a hard comp, because they have everything. So they have Don't Get Close to Me, which is Fire Chains, Plague, and then they have Don't Get Far Away from Me, which is Teleport, and then they have Don't Tank in a Corner, which is Desecrate. And there's not a lot you can do about that. It's basically just going to come down to timing bubbles well, or splitting them into two. That helps a lot. So you can see right now I'm actually using Deadly Reach as I run away. And it's because I don't have any way of... That sucked. I was typing. I don't think I'm... Well... No, I'm good. For some reason he ran the other way. Yeah, so I use Deadly Reach whenever I walk away from a mob. Like that. And the reason for that is because you want to get life on hit still. Like, you need to continue gaining life. It's really important. There's no point where you should ever stop gaining life. And so I use Deadly Reach all the time. It's not just there for a buff. I use it constantly. I've tried builds without it, and I just cannot stand having no range. Okay. Alright, sorry about the death. It's sad. Just two deaths. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter is... Are there 3 deaths? 3 deaths. It's gotta be 3 deaths. Because I played lazy and then played lazy. I think. Yeah. Anyway. So, I mean, when you play with this low HP, you know, like, you're gonna die. There's really no getting around it. You will die. You know, hopefully I get better over time, so I die less. But it's kind of unavoidable. And I find it, personally, to be very, very worth it. Like, I don't mind at all. I die, and I'm like, cool. Like, games like, or runs like last run, where I die like 400 times, because I'm playing like garbage because I just woke up, they get frustrating, for sure. And I wish I was a bit more of the standard dual-wield 2000 life on hit, 40k DPS, or 80k DPS or whatever build. But, whatever. Also, gearing, you know, for Magic Find, it's not increasing my stats. I'm basically spending a lot of gold to get very, very tiny upgrades stats-wise, and then very, very large upgrades Magic Find-wise. And that's causing me to spend a lot of money, a lot of item value, without getting any increase in effectiveness for my character. And so I'm kind of paying the price for that as well, in more deaths than I should be having, based on the amount of money I've spent. But again, like I said, you know, it's a personal preference thing. This build's absolutely not for most people, so I just got the debuff instantly bubbled. I was stuck on something, I guess, because I tried to teleport at the Succubus. So I still have the debuff, which means I got hit by it again while I was bubbled, which sucks. And dodge that one. Alright, so now you can wait for him to fire, and then... Okay. You can't, apparently. I had an idea. Something's not working. So, I guess I'll show you that later, because usually what you can do is you wait for them to fire, and then when you click on them, you teleport through the projectile, and it doesn't hit you. But that doesn't work if your character just decides to run forward instead of teleport. Say lovey. Say lovey. Freeze. Oh, that's so many Succubus down there with Molten. Oh, dear lord. Alright, so when you fight Succubus elites, you don't have the option of killing the Succubus first. So you have to bubble and then kill all these guys, and then start killing some elites, and then basically kite like crazy until you have bubble up again. Do you guys actually have anything? Jailer... So Electrify Succubus is the same issue with every other Succubus affix. Oh, dear lord. Which is, it does elemental damage, and usually you wouldn't notice it, and when you're Succubus debuffed, you notice it. Just, elemental just does so much damage. But right now I'm doing a great job. Okay, so you see this one Succubus over here? There's a bug with, Illusionist and Succubus that makes them sit still like this sometimes. I don't know what causes it, but it's just a thing that happens. It makes it slightly more, on average, beneficial to kill Succubi than it would be otherwise. Dreadlance! Archon Crown! What the fuck just happened?! What the fuck?! Okay. I just got waylaid so hard. So they're Frozen, Molten, and Horde, I'm pretty sure, and Teleport, because that's how she got up there. Okay. So now, hopefully, let's get them into... Jesus Christ. Let's get them into some... Yes, nice teleport. No. And bubble. There we go. Fuck you. So I actually want to get them away from those other Succubi so they don't teleport on me also. Let's kill these phase beasts. So my bubble's not up right now, which means I'm basically fucked. Yeah. That's way too many mobs that just spawned on top of me. But I need room to be able to kite the chick without her little friend spawning on me, so whatever. So that's another death. This is the hardest possible spawn of Succubus, though. Well, it could have Arcane. Fuck, see, this is my problem. I wanted to get away from this. So right now I'm just trying to dodge the debuff more than anything. Fucking Christ, dude. So I bubbled there because I wasn't paying enough attention. Yeah, this is about to get impossible. Alright, well, you're going to see a whole lot of deaths. So, Horde Molten is insane. Like, that's so insanely hard. Because they don't need to auto-attack to do damage. All they need is to debuff me, and then Molten. That's all they need to do. So right now, I'm not debuffed because I keep dodging. So here, this is why Deadly Reach is fucking sweet. Nice Molten, bro. Okay, 2 down. Making progress. I'll take those now. Thanks. Rubber band into bubble. I actually don't want to go that way. I'm dead. That was stupid of me. So that was just playing bad. So I started to walk to the right and realized that if I walked to the right I was dead because there's too many mobs and no room to kite. This is really bad. Because I have no room, I have minions on every side of me, and I have the worst possible affix combo. And I just hit the wrong button because I was flustered. Okay, at least I'm on the right side now. Oh my god. Well, here you go. You can see what it looks like when it's the hardest possible thing there is. It does not get harder than this. So what's happening is they're running backward and then teleporting. And then I'm teleporting to them, and it's causing me to die instantaneously because I have the Succubus debuff, and that's like 6 Moltens. Oh, okay. So that was just because she left. So now you'll see me teleport in and then immediately walk away so that I don't get hit by Molten. So it's like this. That was just my mistake. Okay. Whew. That was, I don't know, shitty. So that's a lot of deaths. But just because of that one pack. Pretty much, yeah, doesn't get harder than that. I guess, you know, invuln minions, Malcore pack, probably harder. But other than that, you're not gonna see much harder than that. So everything else, easy mode. That's what we should focus on. All right, so let's keep going here. Hopefully we don't have to do that again. So that's the problem with this run, is that the mob types are they're technically harder, like they have things, because it's farther in the game than the earlier parts of Act 3. And so things like Succubus is having that ability, you know, is rough when that happens. Most of the time it's not rough. Most of the time Succubus is just sweet because they don't have Molten, and if they don't have Molten, they suck for damage. They have no good way of dealing damage. You know, like these guys. Hell yeah, love these guys. No bubble required. Get on my level, bro. Alright. I pick up Tome of Secrets for the same reason that I pick up blues and stuff. It's for crafting purposes. Also, they're really expensive if you have to buy them in large quantities. Oh no, it's a boss. Okay. I really wish there was a buff timer on Deadly Reach Foresight. It is really irritating that I can't tell how long I have left on it. That is just a personal, general complaint. Alright, so generally speaking, these mob types are easier than the other mob types in this zone. Like the whatever they're called. What are they called? Alright, dodge that one. Alright, gonna get walled, which is fine, because it blocks Succubus stuff. So what does he have? Ah, that Succubus one could have hit me. Nice, dodged it. Okay, so I didn't get Succubus at any point in time, and he has absolutely no abilities. Awesome. Yay, hard mode, PvE. Yeah. Just really wish I could see the buff timer. It would be very helpful. Weak. Super weak. That's a lot of mobs. Oh. So those towers, they do more than my life and damage, so even if I'm at full life, they don't get mitigated by anything, so I just die. I die in one hit if I stand near them. Now I know that, and I thought that that tower was actually the kind of tower that spawns little spear guys, so I was trying to attack it. And hopefully we'll find one of those little spear guy spawning towers so I can show you what I mean. They look really similar, and I wasn't being ridiculous. I was even going to start explaining why you need to kill spear guy towers. But you do not need to attempt to kill non-spear guy towers that one-shot you. Alright, nothing. Okay, so these are runaway molten guys, so inevitably it's going to be annoying. They shouldn't be hard, because any ranged class with Waller is usually really easy, unless they have one of the Waller abilities, like one of Like, oh, well, there you go. Typing. Auto loss. So I just teleported on top of probably 6 plagues at once, and then face tanked Molten and died. 100% my fault, but it's also because I'm talking. What I should have done is run backward, pull them out of the place that they'd just been holed up in, because I knew they'd have 8 billion Moltens and stuff. So, whatever. So Waller is an interesting affix. It's technically not good for the enemy, because it gives you more options. It gives you terrain to work with. And you should be, theoretically, better at working with terrain than the computer is. So it is, for the most part, an advantage to the player. Oops. However, when combined with, for instance, Arcane Enchanted, it is not, because it doesn't matter what art, because it can basically insta-kill you, and anything that can insta-kill you is stupid, because it removes the ability to skill your way out of it. I don't care, you can have fucking 80,000 HP, and you're gonna die if you get walled in place, so when they put a wall on top of you so that you can't actually move, like what almost just happened to me, and then they spawn an arcane laser on top of you, so that it auto-hits you 10,000 times. So this is why it sucks for range mobs when they have wall, because like I was just being protected by their wall. This is also another reason that having Deadly Reach is sweet! Woo! Learn to dodge, monk! So that's just coming at it from an angle where I'm able to hit him despite having Molten. Oh god. Cool story. No cooldowns up and not enough HP, so. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a thing that happens. Those guys do the most single damage of any mob that isn't bugged, i.e. Malcors. Their auto attack is the hardest hitting auto attack in Act 3. And when it hits through all of the mitigation I have, right as I'm teleporting and about to hit bubble, then you die. And whatever. Can't plan for that. It's just bullshit. Like that auto attack hit me for fucking 3,000 damage or something. Cool story. Oh look, running away with Molten. How cool. Oh my god. No? Get dead, dude. Oh, he's fucking Avenger, so he has infinite move speed now. Cool story, dude. Yeah. Like, they just, I don't know. I feel like the design on the mobs that run away from you is just really bad. It's just bad design. Because it doesn't add anything to the game. I did so much damage to that guy. Whatever. It just, I don't know. My feeling on that is it's just stupid. It just detracts from the overall gameplay. Because you don't want to spend your time chasing down a guy. Like, that's the opposite of what you want to be doing in this game. And there's no real reason for it, because it doesn't help them. Yes, if they're running, Molten's more effective, but as a whole, you know, they're less effective at doing whatever it is you program them to do. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's hells of good reasons for it, and I'm just complaining to complain. But I really don't like the running away features. And I have a fucking teleport. There's lots of mobs that I'm choosing not to kill because I haven't seen Elite yet, and I'm hoping that whatever Elite I do find I won't die to, so that I have to run through all this shit again. Alright, so I found the Elite. Of course, it is Arcane Enchanted Walling Shield. That is awesome. Alright, so shield is also currently bugged. As of right now, shielded mobs will very frequently shield and then shield again instantly. And so for the first amount of time that you're fighting them, they're permanently shielded. So when fighting shielded mobs, I generally recommend that you run away at first, for the first whole part of the fight. So I'm Succubus debuffed, so I'm taking 8 billion damage. So I'm just going to run back the other way. Thankfully, these Scorpion guys are one of the worst elite types in the game. So as far as affixes go, it's rough. As far as the actual elite type, though, it's not. So I'm going to bubble, because I'm stuck in a corner, and Arcane Laser is going to poon on my face. Arcax! So good! So good! Razor Spikes, double 63. And that was without switching to Magic Find gear. Just goes to show. Just goes to show. Getting paid back for my hard work. Farming up all that Magic Find gear. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that fight was actually a pretty good example of how, with enough, micro, you can do things pretty well. Like, I encountered some Succubi in the middle of that, and it wasn't a big issue. Like, I was like, cool, no problem. I'll just kite around. When I get Succubus debuffed, I'll make sure I don't get hit by things. And, like, as long as you do that stuff correctly, you can take on lots of things without dying. Ow. Vortexed into that dude. So those guys do spawn here, but I've never seen them as elites. So I'm under the impression that they can't spawn as elites. Which is why farming here is worth it for me, because those guys are so not worth it to try and kill when they're elite. I hate those worms, for reference. I feel like they always pop up at like the least convenient times. Oh, I got some off. Get out of here. Get out of here. You crazy, bro. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? I have no idea. I have no idea what I was going to say. Alright. We're getting there. There's still a bit more to this run, but we're getting there. I like these levels a lot. These or this zone or whatever, where it's just these guys. This part, they just don't have any abilities. They have no unique things that make them especially hard. Fire Chains, I just bubbled to read what they are. Fire Chains, Vampiric Mortar, which is please take me in a corner build. So with Fist of Thunder, if you'll, you can't see. That's unfortunate. With Fist of Thunder, if you want to tank in a corner, you have to have the the mouse basically far away from the bad guys. Because if you have them on top of the bad guys, you'll teleport into them, and that will often teleport you into fire chains. So if you're going to try and corner tank to avoid fire chains, like I just did, you have to have your mouse, like, if my screen's here, my mouse has to be highlighted over that axe at the top, even if they're right in front of me. So I have to be doing this and holding shift. Or else you'll teleport into them, and then you'll start getting fire chains, even though you're in a corner, which is generally very bad. Very bad. I've heard it is bad to get fire chains while in a corner. So, like I said, fire chains is cool because you can dodge it, and so it actually ups your DPS. But like, if the mob is naturally going to kill you, it's not good to get fire chains because it is extra damage that you're taking. Fist of Thunder makes killing fucking goblins like no problem at all. That's a lot of things. I assume that there are things in there that I want. I did not fully switch to Magic Find gear, but whatever. I don't care. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Talking nonstop for an hour actually is fairly tiring. I'm getting a little bit worn out. But I hope you guys enjoy the video, so should be worth it. It's a lot of eye level 63 stuff. I'm very happy with this run compared to my last run. My last run was such garbage. Such garbage. And I got a heaven hand this run, so there's really no complaining. Oh, apparently I messed that up. Okay. Okay. Mascarax, I think, right? Yeah. And then Archon. Quando, easily my least favorite item in the game right now. I see them all the time, and they're so bad. They're so bad. Other cool thing about disenchanting stuff, that's just a, you know, tiny benefit, doesn't make it cost effective or anything, but is you do very occasionally get the legendary crafting mat, and it is going up in price. Which is neat, because it's just like when it happens, it's like finding another item. I'm gonna kill you before you reshield. Suck it. What are they? Oh, frozen, okay. What? The f***? Get out of here, bro! Oh, Desecrate also. I just didn't notice. Woof! Could've gotten frozen there, but dodged it. You can dodge frozen, so sometimes it can be advantageous to not attempt to run out of frozen and just try and dodge it as far as DPS goes and stuff. Okay. Got this guy, no problem. It's like 99.9% of the time you want mobs to have mortar, because when they're mortaring you, they're not attacking you, and it's not hitting you or doing any damage. That was so too early. Now I have to wait for him to shield again. That was my bad. I saw the number and thought it was exactly one 10-digit number lower. Alright. Yeah, and so it's very good to... Ooh, Slayer, at level 63. To get things with mortar. Because it doesn't do anything. The exception to that would be anything that you want to actually run away from constantly, so Succubuses. Or things that sit ranged normally, because then instead of doing the ranged attack, they'll do mortar, and mortar does do more damage than most things ranged attacks. Like those spear guys. But with like melee guys, it's so sweet, dude. Or like caster guys, whose normal auto attack hits harder than mortar. You're like, yeah, you're mortaring, thanks. Appreciate it. It's worse than auto attack ability. Okay. I think there's 4 more zones. 2 of which are boss zones, so. There's this, and then Spider Chick, and then 1 more zone, and then Asmodan, and then run complete. Which is good, this actually hasn't been too long. My last run was like 4 times longer than this. I was hoping it wouldn't run into elites. Typical treasure goblin. Typical. Yes! Yes! Switch to magic fine gear! Switch back! Switch back! Holla! That's such a good feeling. Alright, we got Arcane, we got Fire Chains, we got Teleport, and we got Illusionist. Alright, so Illusionist is the best ever, because you life on hit from illusions, and you proc backlash from illusions. So illusions both increase your DPS and your survivability. They are nothing but wonderful. You should learn to love the illusionist affix. I need you to die. There we go. Okay. And switch to Magifying Gear. And poon this bitch up. Switch back. Feel like a boss. Go kill this guy. Get out of my life. Alright. Yep. Yep. Oh, whoops. Ew. Ew. No. Oh, okay. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here, bro. Amulet. 62. Come on. Yeah. That makes it so worth it. I love that feeling. Like, I'm like, yeah, I switched to that Magic Find and felt really good about it, but that made it worth it to switch to that Magic Find. Was War Sedge 61? No, 58. Because, like, that could be worth 40 million gold. Easily, too. Like, it's not even that hard. Amulets, I think, are the best source of money in this game. If I could choose only one thing, it would be Heaven Hand, because it's so much more fun for me to ID them. But if I could choose only one thing reasonably, it would be nothing but amulets. Eye level 62 amulets. If nothing else dropped, I want eye level 62 amulets. So I have to run away now, because he's fucking Molten, and so I can't go to him. If I go to him, he's just going to run away into his Molten. And if they backtrack through their own Molten, you get pooned on. Ranged mobs with Nightmare are real not fun. I think that was a trap. No, I think maybe it was one of those. Okay. We should be okay. This is just rough. There's so many mobs, and they all have Molten, and I don't have all my... Wow. Ow. Like, I just can't hit them. And none of them are low? What's the deal with that, bro? Alright, cool. Kite back through them. Almost got one. That was awful when that happens. Whew. Yes! Gotcha, bitch! Alright. So now I'm using Deadly Reach, because there's few enough of them that standing still isn't a problem. And Deadly Reach will ensure that I don't get molted, because they're not going to run into me to molten me, because they're fucking ranged mobs. So I can just sit here in Deadly Reach all day long. So I'll teleport in with the first hit of Fist of Thunder, and then just start Deadly Reaching. Although right there it's actually better to Fist of Thunder. As long as they're standing still, you should. So Fist of Thunder does way more... Random teleports in the wrong direction are not advised. Fist of Thunder does way more damage than Deadly Reach, because it's OP as fuck. So every hit of Fist of Thunder with Thunderclap double hits, so it hits once and then hits again for 30% damage, so it's actually doing the same amount of DPS as Way of the Hundred Fist. And then it also double procs crits, so you can see I've got twice as many tornadoes. Boom! Get out! Bitch! Alright. Starting to get a little crazy. That's okay. That's okay. It's bound to happen on a long run where you're just talking the whole time. It's been a very successful run. I've gotten lots and lots of eye level 63 loot. Got my Heaven Hand. And then, got an amulet. So, I mean, life's looking up right now, really. Hopefully I ID it into, like, 300 million gold. That would be great. That would be fantastic. Alright, boss time. So I'll try and kill this chick before her phase switch. But it just depends on how much she runs away from me. Unfortunately, I still have very low DPS as far as high-end monks go. I will eventually change that. You know, eventually I'll get a new weapon, for instance. I've had this weapon since pre-Inferno nerf. I've had this weapon for a really long time. I got it for like 3 million gold, when 3 million gold was hard to come by. A million years ago. So that'll help a lot. A new ring will help. Oh, I didn't make it. That's weird. That was way faster than she normally does it. Rawr. You ask yourself, is there a reason for what he's doing? Nope. I gain nothing by hitting these guys. That phase switch happened far faster than I'm used to. Gotcha, bitch. Archon! Yes! 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 No! Some fell action. protection. There's another Archon that could have, but didn't. Sad life, guys. Sad life. Could have had Archon gloves as well. Whoops, always forget about this thing. Okay. Almost done. There's just the core area and then Asmodan. So, sorry it's been such a long video. This is about how long the run takes, though. This is actually as far as runs go, I would say this is a little bit on the better than average side. Despite that one fight where I died a bunch, I've died very little in this run, and I've had a lot of affix packs that were fucking super easy, that required no kiting and required basically no thinking whatsoever and just face tanking for like 15 seconds. And that really does speed up a run. So, you can expect it to be a little bit longer than this normally. Oh look! Molten Succubi! Slash wrists! Alright. Yeah, stand still. Thanks, Beezy. Love it when you do that, ho! At least I don't have anything else. Yeah, shield. Yeah, yeah. Oh shit, son. Got you. Got you. Yeah! I'm not debuffed. Oh my god. Oh shit. I also have 5 potions left. I've made a mistake, friends. I have made a mistake. That was just being kind of at the end of my ability to pay attention. Yeah, I mean, there was no reason to make that mistake. Okay. Gotta game face it up for just a little bit longer. Gotcha! Alright. So when there's only one of them, you can usually position yourself so you're not in Molten. Ah! Run away! I could have had nothing that I care about. Sexy. Alright, I need potions anyway. If you're asking yourself, does Druin use a macro to buy potions because otherwise it just takes too long? The answer is, I sure do, friends. I sure do. I do count I-62 jewelry as I-63 loot for my loot separation purposes. You know it's been a good run when you're like half I-63, half not I-63. I think that's a solid place to be. It's a happy place. It means that you have a way high potential for really good items. Alright. Check out this sweet healing potion buying macro. Instabot. So boss. That macro is really important. The right click a million times macro. Other cool thing is just, I'm going to tout the benefits because I'm incredibly biased about having a on-gear magic find is that you have more room in your inventory. You don't need to carry around as much gear. So not having to carry around boots and helm and bracers is very helpful. So what do we got here? We got Illusionist, Electrified, Molten. I'm gonna bubble, because I'm not sure what the fuck's going on. Looks like things worked out pretty well there, to be honest. That's not what I wanted. So I think what I want to do is just get to this corner. Oh, no, I don't. I lied! No! Oh, God. So I think what I want to do is get to this corner dead. I did so well, guys. And then, so not well. Those little scorpion guys are the best. They are the best elites that you can possibly spawn. They have really little life, and they do less than average damage. Like, that was indifferentiable from a normal mob. Don't get crazy, bro. Exorcist, Archon, Amulet, 2020. Oh, I mean 62 is what I meant. But I didn't say it, that's why it wasn't 62. I love being rewarded for things that I definitely don't deserve to be rewarded for. Like, that fight was awful. I played so badly. So my experience is generally that there's only one elite pack in this place. Except there's already been two. So clearly that's not what I meant to say. Oh god. Doing so good. There's generally not many, I guess, is what I'll say, seeing as I already saw two. And so I tend to just skip trash once I've killed a couple. Okay! Azmodan time! So, I'm pretty straight confident on being... Not confident, I'm pretty consistent at killing Azmodan in, with only one transition. So I only have to run from, like, the glowy things, or the pools on the ground once. So I can take exactly one fireball. So if he auto-attacks and fireballs at the same time, I die. Like that. If that had hit me, I would have died. But I have a very high chance to dodge the fireballs. So it's not a huge issue. So I take this for a little while, and then bubble, and keep taking it for a while, and bubble, 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 and then run. Alright, so I got him below half, which is all I needed to do, because that means next time, I'll be able to kill him. Ow! Ow! Yeah! Oops. No! So embarrassing. Yeah, I don't know. There's no need to go try and attack him. It gains you absolutely nothing. So, that was actually, here's what that was. That was me explaining what not to do. So when you're fighting Azmodan, and he's doing his little pools on the ground thing, and you're running away from those pools, it's generally always a bad idea to go in and attack him, because you don't gain anything at all. Ha! I don't know how I lived. I think I hit heal at the split second between his auto attack and the fireball, or something like that. But that was cool. That worked out really well. Okay. Got a pool. Taking the pool. Bubble in the pool. Taking that shit. Getting the fuck out. Double pools hurt. Okay! Let's not fuck up this time. I'm pretty sure he places the pool in the direction that you're running, so if you run in circles, it'll random place pools, and so you can often avoid getting hit by them. Yeah, like I placed it behind me that time. I don't know if that's true. Just sort of my anecdotal experience. Alright. Alright, here we go. Time to kill Azmodan. We've got pools. We've got no fucks given. Oh, didn't switch. It's okay. Getting more than 4 rares is basically impossible, so there's no real reason to regret. Would have been cool to see that amulet as a rare, but hey, whatever. Whatever. It's been a good run. Been a good run. Alright, so that's it. That's it. That's the whole run. We're done. I'll probably cut the video here because it's been way too long already. And I'm sure you guys are so sick of hearing my voice if anyone managed to listen to this far. So, appreciate everybody watching. I'm happy to answer any questions at any time. You can friends request me in game. Yeah, feel free. You know, I just like playing this game. Love to help. So let me know. And thanks a lot for watching the video. I really appreciate it, guys. Have a wonderful day. Alright, peace out.